Good afternoon, everyone. It's Doc and Queenie Facebook Live. Good afternoon, Queenie.
Something tells me it's high noon.
It is. Happy Memorial Day.
Thank you very much.
I don't. It feels weird to say Happy Memorial Day. I mean, but it is a national holiday.
Absolutely. And we definitely thank all of the veterans who have let our country be free. And for those who have gone before us, because this is definitely a day of commemoration. Some people celebrate, some people remember, some people do both. So I guess there's a little bit of things like that going on today. I don't know, but that's what a lot of people on the news have been talking about, is going to put flowers and memorials on grave sites of people who have gone before us. So I didn't know if that's a tradition in your family or not.
Well, if I was in the Chicagoland area, yes, actually. And, I was reminiscing on that today. We've had, up until the Korean War, we had one family member on my dad's side in each war. And that's from, Declaration of Independence all the way up. So,
holy moly.
It's quite a history when you look back. My grandmother kept track of the history, and there's really some interesting stuff. We had a few heroes too in that line. We had my dad's uncle actually was a tail gunner in World War II.
Oh my God.
And was going to be on the cover of Life magazine, but he got shot down. And it's almost kind of a surreal. Got shot down over Germany and crawled across enemy lines to get free. But so the day they were supposed to interview him, he could not be interviewed because he had the most, I hate saying it, kills, but I mean, that's what it was. So, but interesting history. Yeah. But the sacrifices that everybody has made for us to be free, to have choices,
Absolutely.
we are the great melting pot, and, the founders and how they set everything up. I always thank God for being born in this country.
Absolutely. That really is a beautiful thing. And thank you to all your family members for their service, and to everyone watching live and certainly on the replay. That really is the purpose of the Memorial Day honor, if you will. And to have that a national holiday, a federal holiday, is a big deal, actually.
Yes,
you don't
it
look
is.
like you're in your normal office.
I am not. I'm actually been, my life has changed since Saturday. And I've been running errands and squeezing things in here and there. I rushed my husband to the hospital on Saturday. So it's kind of you just never know when something's going to happen, per se. And I'm not saying, oh no, something's going to happen. Oh no. But we take for granted, and I'll speak for myself, but we take for granted life and the people around us.
Absolutely.
And, they found some blood clots in his lungs. So it's pretty scary. And it also really kind of sets you, it's a reality check on a lot of things.
Well, isn't it amazing also, and certainly our prayers out to your family, but the thing I think about is life changes in 1 second. You've got your plans, you've got your calendar, and in your case, your nightmare calendar already, and then to add one more thing to it and try to add this and try to do that, and it really does turn out to be one thing changes, especially something this big, and life changes in an instant, from a standpoint of habit, from a standpoint of nutritional journey, from a standpoint of choices, just like you have taught us for all these months. Everything in life is definitely a choice, and sometimes we need wake-up calls and things like that. And I'm super sorry about the rush to the emergency room thing, but I always love the fact that they're in the care of medical people, but also the great healer.
I'm thankful that we have fantastic hospitals and in this area, and that we have people that are gifted as doctors and nurses, and like you said, to the great healer, to our creator. I mean, this right now, what we're going through, both my husband and I, our family, this is where faith and trust in God comes in. I mean, because this is out of our hands really in a lot of respects right now. We're just trusting that he's putting the right doctors in the right place and that they're going to help him stabilize him, which he's getting better. It's been slow, but his spirits are good, but it's all trust and faith right now.
Absolutely. And it's always amazing to me that the Lord's timing is perfect, and people say that so cliche, but I have seen it in so many times. The perfect doctors would be on call for the weekend. The perfect doctors would be on call for the holiday. The perfect nursing staff and the team would be there. It really is phenomenal when you think about the timing part of everything. Tragic though it may be that you would have this in your life, but also from a standpoint of who he puts in your path. And I think, and knowing you, I imagine that you have talked to each and every staff person and go, oh, where are you from? What do you do? How'd you get here?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I have. We had one nurse yesterday. Her name was Laura. I told her I love her name. It's fantastic. Yeah. No, it's and I try not to inundate people with questions, but we've had a fantastic experience as far as, the staff and everybody has been super nice. And we also treat everybody super nice too, I mean, yes, this is high stress. Yes, my husband was scared, which, that's kind of a natural reaction. But it's been they've been wonderful and very informative, and we ask questions, a lot of the same ones, and they've been answering questions and patient with us. So, but yeah, he's in good care, and I'm getting ready in a little while to go see him. And we laugh because it's like we just sit there and watch. We don't have cable in our house, and I'm not a TV watcher anyways. And he's like, yeah, we can watch a movie. I'm like, oh, great.
I don't imagine that's going to go well.
Yeah. People talk about movies, and I'm like, no, who's that? Or my son is a big movie buff. So-and-so is in such and such movie. And I just look at him, and then he realizes, oh, you don't know who that is, do you? No.
Yeah. So, no. And see, I know that you can do anything with the music thing, but not anything with the movie thing. So I'm sure that's the difference.
Oh yeah. Music, I can, I can tell you, and all kinds of music for decades, but, I can put music to everything, but yeah, but no.
You think about, I was thinking about that. It looks like you're in your car, and that's what made me think of this. You turn the key or push the button, and you expect it to go. And we wake up every morning and expect whatever we're doing to function. And when something goes awry, it's nice to be able to have an auto mechanic that you trust, or certainly in this case, a team of physicians, physicians who are at the ready. And it really, again, it's the faith, the trust, that whole piece. And you're a beautiful example of that, actually.
Oh, thank you, Queenie. Well, trying each and every day, it's one step at a time. Absolutely. It's a process, which I hate that, but everything is a process, but it is. It is, it's life. I'm just thankful. Like when I had told you about this stuff happening, it happened he was with my daughter. It happened, if you want to say at the right time, he wasn't alone. And we decided to drive him to the hospital, and I just prayed on the way there that I wouldn't get pulled over, because I was going about 80, 85 down the highway. I know what you like. I know you like that. And then I'm thinking, as I'm driving, as I'm speeding to the hospital, like if I do get pulled over, well, my first thought was I'm going to throw the emergency lights on to say, hey, I'm not just speeding just to speed, but
although
thank God,
I do.
although I do 5 over. Well, okay, 5 to 7 over. But no, we made it there safely. The emergency responded right away, and it was, I'm thankful for the people that God put in our place that are taking care of him.
Yeah, so. That's fantastic. And obviously, certainly keep us posted on the group page, because we would love to have a little Doc's husband video. So don't hesitate if he's up for it to go.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. I love being, he can't wait to come home, because, you don't get any rest. They wake him up every 2 hours.
I'm sure of that.
So, And like, oh yeah, I remember those days of, because I had a surgery and it was like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I
so
think there is nothing worse, actually, not a slam on the medical people, but just being
no,
stuck in a hospital when you'd rather be in the comfort of your own bed. So yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's a good nudge or a good shove to get better, you know,
Oh,
because
absolutely.
you
Yeah.
really want to get that, you really want to go back and be poked and prodded and et
Well,
cetera, et
think
cetera.
about it. If they made it comfy and posh and wonderful, you would
Yeah,
want to
who
come
wouldn't we?
back. And the only time that they do that is when you've had a baby, so that you will want to come back for the next one. And then,
Right.
of course, after you have it, you're usually going, I ain't never doing this again. And so, yeah.
I didn't catch on so fast, but no, actually, the emergency doctor where we were at, we were talking about hospital food. I know you would find that interesting with us, the foodies that we are, because my husband, when of course we knew he was going to be admitted, but then we're like, "Hey, doc, is the food going to be good?" And he goes, "Well, he prefers. He thinks the number one is menorah, and actually, that's where I had my daughter." And I said, they have great pie. You know? So we're talking about food. Yeah, I know. But he's like, here, we're getting better. And, it's just funny. I mean, it was
Well,
just
and that
keep it
really,
light.
the things that come in your mind is just amazing anyway for something like that. But anyway, do keep us posted. And if Doc's husband ever wants to do a video as far as, hey, I'm sure he would love to let the Doc.
Oh, I'm sure he would. Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's such an extrovert like you are, so I'm sure that will work.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Extrovert. Uh-huh.
I am sure that you can see my screen behind me, yes?
Yes, I can. Speaking of food.
Every single
And I
week
know
we try and find a new something and a national day of something. And this time we found National Macaroon Day.
And I did have a great green screen thing, but of course, I'll have to put it up next week. But
Yeah.
yeah. And you and I were talking about macaroons the other day. The first time I had my first macaroon was let's see, when was I in Florida this last time? I've never had a macaroon.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Yeah. My grandmother was the master of macaroon making, and they didn't look like whatever these, I don't know what these actually are, but when I looked them up on Canva, this is what came forth. And so I've never seen a macaroon this way, because hers were like little dollops of coconut something with little burnt edges kind of deal, brown thing. And obviously I baked with her.
Yes. Yeah. And, we never made them. I don't, I've had Pepperidge Farm macaroons, but I don't think that counts. Growing up.
Okay, then I don't know if I would have had that actually, but hers of course were amazing, and the coconut part is lovely. And some people aren't into that, but whatever these are, I've never seen a macaroon look like this. But when I found it, and it was really National Macaroon Day, because I looked up several versions, and it really
is what I heard.
Yeah. So
yeah, my first experience was in Clearwater, and we went to a little bakery, and that's what they specialized with. And so I had strawberry kiwi. They had coffee. The coffee one was my favorite. I don't know why, but we had a whole bunch of. But that was my first time, and I'm like, wow, these are really good, because I didn't know what to expect. I thought this is going to be overly sweet, and it's just not, and, when something is green and red, like Christmas colors, you're like, and of course I switched off my radar to, food additives and all that stuff. So, but they were good.
Yeah. And I bet that is hard when you go somewhere. The first thing you want to know is ingredients, gluten-free, sugar-free, dairy-free, all that stuff. And then you find out that it ain't none of those. And so you're going to have to make a decision. Am I going to actually swallow this thing, or am I not getting near it? So,
it's I kind of vet the menu before I even order. It's just kind of like, okay, what is my close to healthy choice? Because of course restaurants add butter and et cetera to make things taste good. But the macaroons were fantastic. So happy National Macaroon Day, Queenie,
and happy
everybody out there.
Macaroon Day to you too, Doc. And that has been so much fun, honestly, because when we find out what the national day of something is, that's why we wanted to go there too. I know that this has been honestly so much fun for us this week. And thank goodness we tried to do it on the only sunny day in Kansas City for quite some time. And I know that you and I got to open a package together this week.
Yep.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, you got this delivery. What day was that? Was that Wednesday last week?
Maybe.
I'm trying to remember if that was
yes,
Wednesday.
It actually was. I know it was Wednesday. I just remembered why.
We should remember that because, like today it's raining again.
Yes.
I keep trying to get my kitchen gardens done. There you go. Awesome picture. But yeah, you got this big box in the mail, and it was addressed to Doc and Queenie. So this person actually knew who we were.
Yeah.
And we opened it, and it was from the one and only Jody Giroux from Wisconsin. And she sent us, and actually she and I had been talking, and I think I had mentioned it to you, and I don't remember if she has said this to you, but we had talked about, I lived in Wisconsin. Well, when I went to school, my bachelor's degree, I went to school up in Wisconsin. So that's where I get the accent from, of course. Though I don't think I have an accent, but you guys on there, whoever's watching, you can, yeah. So anyways, we were talking about the cheese. I told her I can't eat cheese much anymore, but I do miss the cheese. And there is a big difference from, pulling whatever out of, I don't even know what brand cheese we have. But anyways, so she sent us a whole bunch of cheese, and we got one thing that looked like a hockey puck. And we looked at it, and it looked like fudge, and it was chocolate cheese. And it was really, actually, I think it's better than fudge, to be honest. It's got a slight cheesy flavor. We're doing the caveat to that. But yeah, she gave us this great, fantastic cheese. And there was garlic herb and sun-dried tomato basil cheese. And actually we've got a graduation party coming up, so we're saving some of the cheese for the party. So we just thought it was awesome.
Much fun. Yeah. And because we did National Cheese Day, and of course, being from Wisconsin, Jody knew everything. And so what I did, of course, we recorded for the YouTube channel, the Doc and Queenie opened this magnificent gift. Thank you, Jody Giroux. So we have that on the YouTube channel, by the way, and it's also on the Doc and Queenie page for those of you watching now with us or on the replay. And so as soon as I saw that it was Ogal, and I don't know how you say that, Doc, is that right? Or do you say Ogale or something? I don't even know how to pronounce it, but it's Ogal. It's how it's written.
I don't, I'm not sure either. Yeah.
And so hopefully they're not disclaimering me all over the place, but Ogal cheese, EAU space GAL.
Yeah, I'm not, I took Spanish.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I think this is French or German or something. I don't know, but whatever it is, if I massacred it, I'm sorry. But I liked their page on Facebook.
Cool.
And I tagged their page for the Jody thank you video. And then I sent a messenger message and said, thank you so much for this amazing cheese from our dynamic friend Jody. We in Kansas City are loving every bite, or whatever I said. And I sent them the YouTube channel video. So instantly, of course, the automatic thing says, thank you, we'll get back to you during business hours, or whatever it says. I never expected to hear from them again because, hello, you get messenger.
Yeah, a lot of times you don't.
And even when you're in a business, obviously, no offense, you don't have time to go through all that stuff. And so all of a sudden, a couple of days later, I get this message that said, what a cute video. We're so glad that you are enjoying our products. And they took time. Now, guess what? What does that do right there? They took time to acknowledge the video. And now if I'm going to buy authentic real cheese without crud in it, then where do you suppose I'm going to order it?
You're going to call Jody.
Well, that too, yes. Yeah. I am definitely going to call Jody. But honestly, their attention to detail and the fact that they even acknowledge the wackadoodle video, and I'm just sitting here going, oh my gosh, that really is a business that cares about the happiness of their clients.
Mm-hmm. Follow through. I mean, that's even, you reach out or you tag somebody and say something and nobody responds. You're just like, okay, well, I guess I'll move on, but no, that's fantastic. And I have to make a comment, Queenie. because you took a bite of the garlic herb and you're like, oh my gosh. Yeah. And I've been saying to you, if you don't know what real cheese tastes like, because in Wisconsin, and I only know that because I live there, there's, I don't know how many hundreds of small, tiny little dairies, because, it is the dairy state. There's, every half a mile, there's a dairy farm. And most of my college friends are kids of dairy farmers. So I know that too. Yeah. And what a taste difference. I mean, it's night and day. It's delicious. I mean, you can't get that from Walmart. Sorry guys, but but no, what a fantastic follow through. And like you say, they got it with even just their comment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And such a fun gift and such a fun treat from Jody, and how sweet of her to remember that. And the chocolate cheese, I mean, who knew there was such a thing? But I agree with you, Doc. It does taste fudge-esque instead of it. It's not like you're taking a bite of cheese with a cracker. This is really like a dessert kind of feel to it.
And when we had talked to her, at least the last time I had talked to her, she talked about chocolate cheese, and I was just trying to put my head around it, like, what? Like, is there a layer of, chocolate in between? I didn't know what to expect, and it's totally unique too. And it's unique to Wisconsin. We don't see that down here yet, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But
I wonder what would happen if you went into some of the stores that you have mentioned and said, hi, I need to find chocolate cheese, please. I wonder what that
it would be a conversation starter. Yeah. Maybe that's how we get noticed.
Yeah, seriously. That would be pretty amazing right off the bat. Oh,
totally.
Well, it sounds like with our fantastic video and the fact that it's National Macaroon Day, and certainly the fact that we commemorate all of the veterans and those who have gone before us for Memorial Day, this is a heck of a day for us to be on at all. And some people are celebrating, some people are commemorating, some people are memorializing even now, gravesites and things like that. And for you to have had your life turned upside down so quickly. And again, obviously our prayers are with you and your family. It's back to that same drill. Everything is one split second, trust in God, life changes in an instant, and your schedule is perfect. And then kaboom. And it's all about flexibility. And we've talked about punt and pivot so many times, but most of that was about pandemic, COVID stuff related that way. And now it's a whole different world at this point.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Well, I of course, my perspective right now, because the focus is on my husband, is, once he gets out of the hospital, the changes and all of that. And we've had no choice but to be flexible, and we will pivot because we have to. Your health, your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health. I'm sorry?
Is he aware of what the changes are going to be?
I think he's got an idea. Yeah. Married to me, he definitely does.
Yeah, excuse me. Hang on a second. I'm going to disappear for a second and give him a call because I think he needs to be warned on this one.
Yeah, no, it's, I mean, like I was saying, the soul, body, spirit, that whole piece, it's important to be flexible and change, and, and it's, it's easy for me to say, but I've also been there. I mean, that's how I wound up to where I'm at. My health was in jeopardy, and I did things to turn it around. So now we just have another little hurdle, and we will do the best we can, and lots of prayers, and and it is trusting God to get us through this, which He has.
Healer.
Which
yeah,
He has.
The great healer, the master physician. We know who that is, so that's pretty comforting. Now, on a gardening note, actually, Doc, anybody that's in the Kansas City area, holy moly!
I know it's raining again. It wasn't supposed to rain, I think, but I don't know.
I'm a rain girl. I'm all about anything being outside, even walking in the rain. I have done before, and people, of course, go call someone. I don't know. And
she's on the loose end.
Yeah. But I love being outside when the weather is nice from a standpoint of temperature. And I don't actually care if it's rainy, sunny, windy, cloudy, that kind of stuff, as long as the temperature is not freezing. But what does one do in a gardening environment? Is there such a thing in a garden box as too much water? Uh-oh, I can't hear you. You're on mute. Uh-oh. Mute on your phone. Mute on your phone still. I really want to know the answer to that too. Darn. 1 minute, por favor. There we
Can you hear
go.
me?
Yeah, now I
I-
can.
Okay, can you still,
I can hear you, but I can't see you. But so I was,
there we
there
are.
we go. Now we can do both. But that's why I was
I
asking,
wonder,
is there such a thing as too much water, rain for a kitchen garden box?
well, there's not much we can do as far as the rain part, of course. But all of the garden boxes, even like the elevated ones, I've built them to where they will drain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the ones that are on the ground don't have a bottom on them. So that helps the water soak into the soil.
Okay.
The dirt will shift, from the excess. Actually, it'll compact a little bit more because of the rain. So, what I'll be doing here, and anybody that has my garden box, I'm sure they'll get this, it's common, makes sense. But,
Oh,
after things dry out a little bit, then I usually add a little bit of soil
okay.
to build it up again a little bit. But it doesn't, we've had 7 inches of rain in the past month or past 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
this is not a common, yeah. Which is why, of course, the soil is, it's not totally draining, but it's shifted and it's adjusted. And there's like pits in the garden, if you want to call it. So that's why we have to fill it up with soil. But yeah, everything is built to drain. That's always in anything. And I've got planter boxes now, and those are built also to have drainage. Because of course, if you have roots sitting in water, they're going to rot and you're going to lose your plants.
And that's what I would think right off the bat as well. That's why I was wondering about that. But I get the compression part. And then once everything dries out, you add more soil to it. So that I understand that part. That's good.
Yeah. So yeah, I've just been waiting to try. I've got a steel garden, kitchen garden bed that I've been trying to build. And yeah, I actually had started it on Saturday, and then, everything changed. And I think actually a rainy day, I might work on it a little bit later, and get that at least finished and ready to go to install it. Once we have the soil and all of that is half dug. So we have to finish that because we got rained out. And then yesterday was Sunday. I don't work on Sunday. And today is a holiday, I guess. So, but yeah, just kind of waiting. We've been kind of waiting over the past couple of weeks, but I've been focusing on just catching up on stuff. And then I've been building planters, cedar planters, and I put an oil that protects the wood and also brings out the grain of the wood. I like that look. And so I've been working hard on some cedar planters for folks, to put flowers in. So
Absolutely. And one thing I wanted to ask you, because I saw one of your reels, I'm a stalker, as you know. I saw one of your reels on Instagram when you were actually applying. I didn't understand, like it's oil that goes onto the wood.
Yeah, that's an oil. That's the protection on top of the wood. It'll seep in a little bit, but adds an extra layer of protection. The woods we use are cedar or a Douglas fir. The Douglas fir actually is more water repellent than the cedar is. They both last quite a long time. I say 10 to 15, but it's probably longer. Which that's what I try to build all of my garden boxes out of, and my planters. People go, oh my gosh, it's expensive. Well, unfortunately right now wood is expensive. But if it wasn't expensive, cedar is a little more higher price because of the value of it, because it will last a long time. I actually just had a cedar box that I tore apart because it finally rotted, and I've had that for 18 years.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it's the longevity, provided it's, and any of the gardens I build are not treated wood, because that's going to add stuff to your soil. And if you're growing food, you don't want the junk they put in the wood to preserve it.
I even know that part too.
And
go ahead.
Oh, and I was going to I was going to say the stuff that I put on my that I'm preserving the wood, this oil, it's also a food grade oil. So it's, it's always with the intention of making sure that, what I build my things out of are not going to hurt the person that's growing food. We're being safe and wise about that. So,
and that's,
I'm sorry. So you were going to.
I would run that right off the bat, is to make sure it's food grade, because I don't want chemicals on the stuff I'm going to grow organically anyway. So I actually understand that. I wanted to check, and I don't want to keep you because I know you've got to get to the hospital and all those things. But one of the things I wanted to ask, I, again, am a stalker of Doc. And so for those of you also who are, if you are following her on Instagram, it's Kitchen Garden Expert. And tell us about those reels, my friend. You do a reel, 95 million views on it, and then all of a sudden you're like a celebrity in our country. How is that working?
I wish. I'm not a celebrity in the country yet. Maybe we'll just say, I don't know, for our little town here. Okay. I'm doing the reels, 15 seconds. Most of them are centered around what I do, which is gardening. And I love flowers. And so I've been just kind of going from, got a lot of flowers in front and backyard. And I'm trying to remember, my last reel was, do you remember? I see, and I'm brain dead. I apologize. I think it was the Garlic Scapes.
Yes, and I'm going to look it up right now, but I think you're right.
We are in Garlic Scape season, and we can talk about that another time. But it's a 15-second little video that I do, and I tack on some titles, and then I post it. And I've been pretty consistent, like almost every day, with the exception of this weekend. And in 1 month's time, I think I was telling you, Queenie, I have reached over 10,000 people have watched my reel. And then they give you the percentage of increase on, how you've increased your viewership. And it's 2,700% in 1 month.
Gosh, I'd say that's not bad. And that's what I'm looking at right now. The Garlic Scape was your most recent. And then it looks like it's just a picture of a hoe in the dirt. What is that? You're digging something up?
Yeah, that was digging up the garden. That was the installation that we had to stop because we got some rain again. So.
Okay. And then the next
one,
because again, I'm a stalker. It says orange. Tell me about that.
I'm trying to remember which one that was. What does it look like?
It says orange, and this was my first attempt to get my tomatoes in the ground.
Yeah, I planted some orange tomatoes, and they're actually a pear-shaped tomato that will turn orange. So
guess what I was thinking? You use orange tie things.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I thought the orange was for, because I thought
tie up my tomato plants. Yeah. I'm sorry.
So I thought, okay, that was orange. So I thought that was the topic. I didn't realize it was for the orange tomato thing.
And actually, I think it's pink, but I think I've got pink, yellow, and blue out there, but I don't know.
I'll have to look.
But yeah, I don't do anything that doesn't have color. Did you notice that?
Well, since the next thing down is stock, and that was the stock that smells so great when you're doing flower arrangements. That's the next one down too, and it's so beautiful. And the way that you capture these on your photography is seriously, honestly, like the people that are seeing it, if this spreads and however that goes algorithmically, that really is amazing. And then you did a homegrown salad also, and you just snip all the stuff into a bowl. Oh my gosh. But anyway, for those of you watching live with us, and certainly on the replay, if you have not yet followed Doc as far as Kitchen Garden Expert, she's everywhere on YouTube. She's everywhere on Instagram. She's all over Facebook, LinkedIn, and several other platforms. And please do, because the reels themselves are actually cool, but your teaching piece on your website is actually amazing. And there's a subscribe button on there so that we can get your newsletters. Is that how we do that?
Yeah, it's called Garden Tips from Kitchen Garden Expert. It's at the bottom of my kitchen garden page. That'll bring you into all of because it's all about food. I do a podcast. I've got the YouTubes. I've got a blog. I'm doing the kitchen garden, and then I'm a naturopath, if anybody doesn't know that. So that brings you into the Kitchen Garden Expert, brings you to the page. And at the bottom of that page is you can sign up. I'd love to, and I just give out different types of tips, and I always look for unusual things to research. Or I've been gardening for how many years did we decide? Let's see, I'm only 25.
I was going to say, I'm not going to say it out loud, but when we did the math before, it was over 40 years. And then once we decide you're only 25, that messed everything up. So I don't know how to say that.
We could let them figure that out. I've been gardening for 40 years, and I've with my parents, and I love it. I love it, as you know, and I'm always trying weird and new things, and So, but so any new and questions? Got to flip back to you. Any new trainings that you're doing? I know, like Happy Neighborhood Project is exploding.
Oh my gosh, I am grateful each and every single day for having found that location and that organization. I have met so many amazing people from all over the world, actually. So happyneighborhoodproject.com is where any of you watching now or on the replay can go visit. Just take a look around the website, click here, and just find different locations. Right now, we have 68 weekly events, and you can pick and choose how your schedule works out. It's free for everyone. And I found it, and I really mean it. I can't believe how awesome it is to have friends from all parts of the globe. And on a funny note, this is something I actually couldn't believe. I thought Jesus has such a sense of humor. You go to 2 breakout rooms during the event, and you get to meet maybe, let's say, 10 people total in your 55 minutes. I am literally in Germany at the Germany event. I'm in the breakout room. Many of the people there, of course, are from Germany. And all of a sudden, I introduced myself as Kathy Weaver from Kansas City, Overland Park, Kansas, if you know the area, right in the center, the heartland of the United States. This gentleman raises his hand and he said, I live in Overland Park.
Yeah.
And I literally, oh my gosh, I am all the way in Germany at one of these events. No one's ever heard of Overland Park. It's always Kansas City kind of thing. And this guy says, I'm from Overland Park too. And I thought, you know what are the odds in a million years that you are going to, and I didn't know him. And so all of a sudden he's from Overland Park as well. It makes the world smaller, and it really does. And no one's heard of Kangen Water. Hallelujah. Many people have heard of Kangen Water. I've been in a breakout room with Kangen Water reps, and it just turns out to be fantastic because the network with Happy Neighborhood Project is open, and you just feel automatically like you've got a common denominator, and it's really cool.
What I love in my short experience with them, because I just haven't had time, but it's first class. It's very structured to where you can talk about your business, but it's not, we've always talked about swoopers and, people are just there to try and get your name to sell you something. It doesn't have that feel, because it seems like, at least in my short experience, a lot of the people on there get what networking is, which is building the relationships. And I know you've talked about, you've met all of these different people, you've done one-on-ones with them and got to know them. And that's how to swing back around to Jody Giroux and the cheese. It was all through networking. And we have a friendship going. We have not met her in person yet.
Yeah.
And if she's watching, she needs to come to visit. Or vice versa. When I go back home to Chicago, Wisconsin is kind of in a roundabout way. It'll just take us a little longer to get there. But
and I'm
it's
driving.
all about, okay, it might be okay. A couple of days. A couple hours if I'm driving, but
supersonic over there, not supersonic over here. Okay.
Just pray we don't get no, but it's happy that you're networking. That HNP sounds fantastic.
Yeah,
I've had limited experience, but it just, everything you talk about, it's and the leadership is awesome.
Doc, I just got a text message from your Legal Shield account. They want to talk to you immediately.
Well, maybe my representative could call them for me. I'm kind of busy.
Yeah, they want to follow you around in that little red car and find out what you're doing so fast. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, my friend, I'm going to let you get back to your hospital and your husband and get him out of there as soon as possible so you can start his recovery. I bet he's excited about that.
Oh, and, I'm sure he's going to be happy. Yeah. Dr. Mommy.
Yeah, I bet that's the case. Oh my gosh. What a way to spend your weekend. Who would have known? But again, we pray everything goes great with all of you. And we're so glad that all of you watching live or certainly on the replay could be with us today as we commemorate the Memorial Day weekend holiday, as they call it, and certainly happy National Macaroon Day. And Doc, it's time for you to take us home.
Well, thank you, Queenie, and thank you, faithful friends on purpose, or anyone who's new that is checking this out. And thank you for your participation and the sharing and just being part of our network. And to reach out to Kathy, it's kathyweaverkc.com, or on any platform, it's Kathy Weaver KC, or for myself, kitchengardenexpert.com, and same thing, Kitchen Garden Expert on social platforms. Until we see you again, maybe we'll catch you on Thursday night at 7 for our Bible trivia, or next week at
Hi, dude.
Thank you, Queenie.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great Memorial Day.
Thank you so
Take
much.
care.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.